got done with the post office, paying my rent, being a responsible adult, like we should be, regardless. So I just wanted to say that I hope everybody's having a good day or good night. I'm just taking a stroll back home. Just it's a beautiful day, so why not, take advantage of it while we have it here, while we have the good weather, because who knows, it might go bad again. But I know it's been tough, but we're making it. We're surviving. We are doing step by step, taking day by day, and I just keep going. There's nothing more you can do but try your best to keep living. With today's society, I mean, there's so much to worry about, especially if you got kids. But just you yourself, that's a big enough responsibility there in itself. So, ooh, look, there's a squirrel. Look at that. You're cute. Ah, I got me a squirrel. Ah. But I know in some places right now people are getting ready for bed because it's like almost like midnight in some places. Some places it's probably already the next day. Here it's like, what time is it now? It is 4:13. It is 4:13 here. It is so beautiful for sprinklers. God.
I was there 2 days ago.
Alrighty. Hola, ¿cómo estás? How is everybody doing here? Oops. I just got done with the post office. Now I'm just going, oh my God, there's this girl. Look how green that is. Oh. Wow, look at that. I think a lot of those right there, those old stones that are here used to be, because this used to be in this house right here used to be the first hospital that was here. All it is now is like a group home like a group living home. Or, the how do I put it, for the mentally challenged people that are adults, they live here now. But this used to be a hospital, the first hospital ever, like I think it was like in the 1800s. Now we have a big hospital, huge, but that was the first one. And I think that right there used to be where the horses and stuff used to go in to wheel in the sick. So it's very interesting. So there's some historical like places here that used to be, like we have the Fort Stanwix that's over here. It used to be the fort when the English, the colonizers, the Brits, the British. They called them the Redcoats. No, it wasn't the Redcoats. Was it the Redcoats? Yeah, it was. Because I think the French, was it French? The French were the blue coats. They wore the blue coats. So, that's where the war went on between the indigenous people, the original people of this land, and the colonizers, whatever you want to call them, the BK or the British. But there was other people that, it was a British monarchy. There could be other people too who weren't British. But there's a lot of history around. I'm not sure if a lot of you guys are history fans, but I like true history. True history that tells real facts, not just false things that people kind of made up or took credit for something somebody else did before them. It's not true history. Even though it happened, that means they weren't the first. Just like they say Christopher Columbus was the first to discover America. We know that's false. Or how else? There's so many inventions that were made by African American men that European people or white people took credit for, which it should have went to the African American people. Certain things that they made before they did, they just added on to it or something else. That's all they did. So when we look at true history, you got to dig deep, because sometimes it's not what it really is. So really think about that when you dig into history itself. You really got to dig deep, because sometimes you'll find out there are certain things that somebody else did, but somebody else took credit for before them. That's really sad. I mean, like the indigenous people here, they were the first, but they don't get credited for it, and they didn't even become American citizens until the 1900s on their own soil. Tell me how messed up that is. That's messed up. The original people of North America were the Indians, the indigenous people. Okay? So, they didn't even become U.S. citizens until the 1900s. Tell me how messed up that is, and this was their land before it was anybody else's. Tell me how that makes sense. Really, that makes no sense to me. How are you not an American or American or Mexico or Canadian citizen when you were the first here? That makes no sense to me. That would never like comprehend in my mind. They didn't even become American citizens, or even I'm not sure how it went in Canada or how it went in Mexico. But in America, they didn't even become American citizens until the 1900s. That's crazy. I found out that history like a while ago. But that's just a history fact that really baffles my mind all the time. How does that happen? But think about it. African Americans didn't even become American citizens until a little while after slavery was over. So it's the same. It's the same. Out of all the people, the most mistreated people that has been mistreated for the longest time, that's in the U.S. or Mexico or were the indigenous people, Africans, and Jews. Because they believed that the Jewish people were the ones that executed Jesus. They don't realize that there were many Jewish sects at that time. There were Jews that followed Jesus. There were many different groups of Jews, but it was the Pharisees. Doesn't mean all the Jews. It was just that certain sect at that time that wanted to put Jesus to death. Everybody, but that was the purpose why he came here anyways. But the point of it is, I'm trying to get to the point, is that they get blamed for, all the Jews get blamed for wanting to kill Jesus, even though it was only a certain group. What? Yeah, there was a certain group at that time, and now to this day all of them get blamed for it, even though even Jews follow Jesus. Look, the apostles were Jews. A lot of disciples were Jews. Some of them were non-Jews. So how do you figure that? It makes no sense. And then the African Americans finally became American citizens a little after slavery was over, pretty much. But they were still very much mistreated. They still are mistreated differently. Same with the indigenous people of the Americas. Still very much mistreated to this day. People take credit for something that they never did. They took their land, they stole their land, and they didn't even become American citizens until the early 1900s. How does that happen? I will never comprehend that. It makes no sense to me. But enough about that. Adios, guys. Bye.